His wife notices
what he does.
And she tries to trap him.
And she actually succeeds.
So I just want you to let that sink in as you think about that boy's thinking that the best punishment he could give his absent dad.
His dad had died?
No, his dad actually sent him to grow up in another house.
But by the time he's marrying, I can't remember.
His dad was dead already.
You see how powerful that is?
You get, and he said, I will be the end of your lineage, and everything you worked so hard for will go back to the crown. Because what happens in the British system is that if an aristocrat dies without an heir, the title and the properties go back to the crown.
State.
You get. So this boy wanted to be the end of his father.
And the father died long ago.
See what happens? When a man does not understand
his mandate
as a propagator of godly character and raising of godly children. That is why there is a common saying that a brilliant child or a wise son brings honor to the father
and shame to the mama.
And shame to the mom of a stupid child. Do you get it? Because it is expected that it is the father whose work of disciplining, whose work of tending, whose work of husbanding and nurturing is one that has born the fruit of wisdom and the fruit of productivity that you'll see in a son.
Yeah.
Do you get it? So we're talking about the mandate of a man, that the man owes it to his time. The man owes it to his community.
His very existence
is dependent on productivity. Yeah. His very existence, his very legacy, his very purpose is tied down to what his time produces.
Hold that thought. We're going to come back from the break and we're going to continue with this. Stay tuned. We're learning quite a bit today in this episode where we are doing a new series on solid Jamas. We are talking about the mandate of the male man, why he exists.
And man's debt.
What he owes this world. And we're learning that he owes this world his unique fruitfulness. He has to propagate.
Yes.
In other words, me as Lawrence, if I don't exist, if I did not exist, the world was missing something. Mm-hmm. It is not the other way around, that when I now exist, the world owes me stuff. The world owes me nothing.
The world will pay you for what you produce.
Exactly. The world owes me nothing if I'm not productive. Let me just qualify that. It owes me nothing. I came, I found the world, I'll go, I'll leave the world.
True.
But what do I leave behind is predicated on my knowledge and the clarity of why am I here? What is my purpose? What is my mandate as a man in at the beginning of the day? Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you a very interesting question here, because we've been talking about raising kids and so on and so forth. And forget about raising kids and the ideal man as a husband. Do you think all men, whether married, unmarried, and so on and so forth, have a mandate?
Yes. Every man has a mandate. To think that one can live life without paying that price of manhood is for me laughable. Mm-hmm. Because let me use biology as an example. That every day a man's system produces 1 billion sperm every day. Now, when you think about the fact that 7 billion people on earth, right, are as a result of sex, and a man planting his seed, yeah, and every seed that every man ever planted to produce the 7 billion people, that seed was given time. And that time produced everything you see today. That is the power in your loins. That is the power you carry between your legs. That within you, yeah, there are skyscrapers, if that's an important thing.
Yeah, tarmac roads.
There are tarmac roads.
Yeah, business empires.
There are business
telecom
empires
industries
within you.
Yeah.
So your mandate is to be very intentional about where that productive energy is dispensed and which garden
you're going to sow your seed.
You're going to sow your seed in. And that is why, if you found a good garden to sow your seed in, you have to take care of the garden.
You're a husband. So every man is necessarily a husband, whether, okay, this is where we have to be careful here. Because husbandry.
And you see, that's why homosexuality doesn't work. In the purity of homosexuality, let people stay with their seed.
Yeah.
And then you see how they produce.
Yeah.
It's counterproductive.
It's counterproductive. The word husband, I don't know if you can even go to Google and look at it, but we've already defined what the word husband is. It is a man or a person who tends. A man who has an environment,
who owns
number one,
and then
tends, nurtures and so on, and makes things to be able to grow. So any man listening to us, any solid Jama out there listening to us, his mandate, his first mandate, maybe he doesn't know it in terms of details and in terms of specifics, but it is the mandate of being productive.
Yes.
And this productivity is not helter-skelter, selfish, and so on. It is propagating the idea of the Creator. The mandate, not the mandate, the glory of the Creator being propagated on. That is the mandate we have as men.
Yes.
Pure and simple from the get-go. If we miss that, there are very many examples we can show. And the first example is the one you've just given about the homosexuality thing.
So God has shared His nature with you that you can create.
You are a co-creator with God. I am a co-creator with God.
What are you going to use that information for?
Yeah.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
If it hits you, what are you going to use that information for?
And you shouldn't have limits at the end of the day if you are co-creating with God. You shouldn't be thinking of limits, you shouldn't be thinking small and so on. We'll talk about those specifics a bit later on.
And let me again use the liberty of our show to teach you how to pray as a man. If you're looking for trying to figure out your purpose or trying to figure out your mandate, yeah? When you wake up in the morning, first of all, just give thanks that you're alive, that you have an opportunity in time to see the sun. Just give thanks that you're alive. And then before you think about nagging and begging and crying to God for stuff that He most likely wants you to have and is planning for you to have, with your shopping list, just take the time to ask God, I am here. What are you up to? What do you want to do? Do you need help? Send me. How can I help you? I just want you to think about this. People go and pray for money, right? And ask people, how many of you have ever received money?
Miracle money.
Has it ever come in a parachute? Even if it's miracle money,
hold on.
Someone sent it to you.
There's nothing like miracle money to begin with.